This video is going to take you through the process of how to utilize Spotify for podcasters to record and set up a podcast. So, Spotify for podcasters is actually a platform that used to be known as Anchor. So, Anchor was a podcast development platform that Spotify recently acquired. What it allows you to do, though, is to publish your podcast directly to Spotify, similar to what you would do with videos to YouTube. And it allows anyone to publish things to Spotify for free. So to use it though, however, you do have to have a Spotify account, but not one that requires any kind of a membership. So first thing is, if you do not have a Spotify account, you'll need to sign up for Spotify and get a login. Once you do that, you'll click on login. You'll sign into Spotify for podcasters, log in with Spotify, continue to the app, and you're going to create a new podcast. Now, I've had a couple in here before, so I'm going to go back to start a new podcast. What you're going to do is give this a name, podcast on how to create a podcast. Underneath the author, which is your Spotify handle, and we're going to make an education how-to podcast, and we will use English as the language. Hit continue. Next, I'll ask you to upload some cover art. What I did was I went to Canva, which we've used in some of our other projects, and I did a search for CD covers. And this gives you lots of different covers, and they're the same dimensions as the thumbnail that you use in Spotify. So you can select one of these, customize the template, however you would like for that to be, and download that graphic to use. So once you have that downloaded, you'll select upload an image. Here's one that I created earlier, and hit continue. And so now you have a photo that will go with any podcasts that you develop using the platform. So now we're going to make our first episode. So you click on Let's Do It. You're going to record or edit, and that takes you to the main platform. The two features that you're going to use the most here are the record feature and the transition feature. You can use Spotify Music in your episode. However, Spotify is beginning to crack down on that because what's happening is people are developing full-scale radio programs on Spotify, and they're having difficulties in figuring out how to control the streaming and licensure components of the music that are used in those episodes. And so it requires a lot more of a process now to use music from Spotify in a podcast placed on Spotify. So it's better to use the free transitions in your episode. So to set up your episode, you click on record. You'll choose what your microphone is going to be for your episode, and then you hit record now. Hi, welcome to my podcast on how to create podcasts. Hit stop recording. Here you can give this a title. So this is my introduction. And you drag that over into place that creates your timeline. Now let's say between the introduction you want to add a transition. So there's a lot of those that are listed here. You drop that in, next in your timeline there. Then you can record another segment. This takes you through the step-by-step process on how to create a podcast. Okay, once you finish that one, you add it. Maybe then you're going to put in another transition here. And then once you finish your episode, this gives you a chance to preview. And so once you get your episode how you want it to be, you're going to click Save Episode. And this is going to be creating You're going to go publish now, no explicit content, hit next. This is some optional information. You can just hit next and skip that, and you're going to hit publish. Now, once you're finished, you can go to click on this and you can share this here. So if you click on this copy link, it will take you to that episode here. And so that link is what you will turn in on Blackboard. And here it has your podcast there. Once this is published, you can also go back and choose to take it down off of Spotify after your assignment's completed. To do that, you go to episodes. It's going to show up here. You're going to click the drop down button and hit delete, and that will look at taking it off of Spotify if you don't want it left on there afterwards, because there's really not a way yet to make it public or private when you publish something on Spotify. But that's the process real quickly on how to use Spotify for podcasters to create your podcast. I'll also add some links to tutorials in Blackboard as well.